The Sam Adams Brewing the American Dream program is something that we started in New England 4 years ago, and it's a philanthropic activity to help small business people grow their business and create jobs. And
why do small businesses need this? I mean, don't they have access to the banks and capital?
No, I can tell you from my own experience, when I started Sam Adams, no bank even wanted to talk to me. They just don't want to lend to small businesses in small loans because they can't make money on small loans, and there's a lot of risk, and that's not their area of expertise. But we started as a small business, remain a small business within our sector. It's something that we know and we wanted to give back to. So we partnered with Axione, the leading microfinance organization in the U.S., and we do two things. We make small business loans up to $25,000 in the food, beverage, and hospitality industries, which we know, and we provide coaching and counseling and mentoring.
Give some specific examples of the things that you wish that you had had access to when you started the Boston Beer Company in your kitchen, 28 years ago?
Yeah, I knew a lot about beer. I was very passionate about beer because I come from a brewing family. I'd been home brewing. But the nuts and bolts of business were not things that I knew, like just basic stuff of how do you set up a payroll? What do you look for in a real estate lease? When you're making your label, what's important? Should the logo be big? Should it be little? Should it be at the top?
All right, now you say that you've got $1 million set aside for these kinds of small loans. Can you give us an example of someone who's done this kind of small lending with you, or borrowing rather, because this program has already been in existence, as you said, in New England, New York, as well as Pennsylvania and Ohio. What's a past experience like?
Oh, well, at this point, we have over 130 recipients of loans, and we're on our second $1 million now. So an example might be, say, here in New York, Brooklyn Homebrew. It was a couple of people, they had a bad credit history, nobody would give them loans. They took a $10,000 loan, and we worked with them to get their credit rating back up again. They paid the loan back, their business grew, and Chase now gave them a $75,000 loan, and they sort of graduated from the program. To us, that's great.
Let's just say we celebrated by giving a loan to somebody. I got to ask you about beer. If you were going to celebrate, what's the trend and what's the most celebratory beer right now on the market?
To me, I think it's a special beer that we released a few months ago. It's a collaboration with the oldest brewery in the world in Germany. And they brought their German expertise.
How old is the oldest brewery?
1,000 years.
1,000 years old?
1,000 years old. And they reached out to me and said, we're a great brewery, we have tradition, but what we need is innovation, because today in America, the innovation in the brewing industry is in the craft beer segment, and it's become a role model to brewers in the rest of the world. So we spent 2.5 years collaborating with them, invented an entirely new style of beer, a champagne style of beer that comes in a champagne bottle and has a lot of those sort of fruity, aromatic esters. That's a nice celebration when you open a beer by popping the cork.